Okay, so we're ready to go in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so I actually got a glitch on the title screen there. You can see I've already got 1 coin. If you bring up the menu on the frame you collect a coin on the title screen, that transfers over to your save file. So, about the run. This is Super Mario World. It is the best game ever. Nintendo said so. I said so. We all know it. And we're doing it small. So UKSM 2017, I submitted 96 exit, which is a caped category. 2018, I raced with Agathor to my right here, with no cape, no Star World, which as the name implies is no cape. And this year I thought, let's continue that trend and go small only. So that means no midways, no power-ups, no Yoshi. If I get hit at all, I have to redo the level over again, so you should be seeing everything done properly, unless there's just a slight hiccup. And World 1 is pretty basic, just hold right and jump. So there's not a whole lot to talk about right now. In this level though, just wanted to stay quiet for that bit. So these wooden brown platforms, they move to the right as you're standing on them. So I want to land on them as early as possible and jump off them as late as possible just to get a slight boost. And you can save up to 3 frames per platform with this. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but that is the difference between getting a 258 on your game timer and a 259 at the end of the level. And you may hear me refer to some times like a 59 there, and that's based off the time on my head. So got that there. Should always get that. Entering Yoshi's Island 4. Now there is a star in this level, in that block that the P-switch was resting on. No, in the block that I jumped under. And the star you may say is a power-up, but technically it isn't, so it is allowed. But I didn't get it because it's just slower anyway. And Iggy's Castle. This is the first level where the run is really different to most other categories. Because World 1 you typically stay small anyway, because this jump onto this Koopa here is so much easier small. And you can get a bit more of a jump under that one as well if you're small. So you typically stay small for World 1 in any category, but usually you would grab that midway and get big. But because this is small only, we can't grab the midways, and I have to stay small. See, that's an example of something you don't want to collect in this run, that mushroom there. So, auto-scroller, just got to avoid the Pop-Tarts, avoid the pits, and get in the door. And here's Iggy! And there's Iggy. So there's World 1 down. No problem. And coming up to World 2, this is where the run starts to get a bit more interesting. Now, if I was playing the English version, as we are English, I would be able to read out this cutscene to you, but I don't read anime, so I can't. It says something about Mario destroying a whole castle and being a terrorist, but it's fine. We don't need to know about that. And coming up to this next level, depending on what exit you get, so the red levels have 2 exits, a normal exit and a secret exit. And depending on the strat you do in this level, there's actually 2 routes to this category. One of them is faster, but it does require getting the secret exit in this level, which is not intended for you to be able to get as a small only. So I'm going to be trying a trick here, and I probably will miss it, because the version I do it of it is kind of luck-based, but we'll see. Yeah, so I didn't get high enough for the... Oh... Okay, that'd be good. I didn't get high enough for the shell to bounce off the pipe. What I was going for there was throwing the shell off the pipe, and then as it bounced back, I was going to try and land on it and get up there, and that would have given me the secret exit. That would have took me up to the water level, which, yeah, it's a water level, you go slowly. but it would have been the alternative to going in this level, which is a 2-minute auto-scroller. So the difference is about 40 seconds. It's not a huge time loss to miss that. It just does mean that you're not doing the optimal route. And floors don't exist, you can just drop that guy through there. And what is a ceiling but an upside down floor? So they don't exist either, you can just drop that guy stuck up there. And he'll try and wake up, but he will realize he's in a wall and can't go anywhere. And there again, we don't want power-ups, so get rid of those. So yeah, if I get hit at all in this run, I will have to redo the whole level. And I'm going to use a bit of Buzzy Beetle shenanigans here, a bit of Buzzy Beetle magic. I caught him when he was moving down, and so as he wakes up, he will keep that downwards momentum. He will wake up under my feet, and it helped me get in this pipe a bit sooner. So yeah, that was Donut Plains 2. In an optimal run we wouldn't have seen it, but it's not a huge deal. Be swimming with the fishes. And the water level would have took us up to this ghost house anyway, which I'm about to do. And this level is the first level that's supposed to be a puzzle, really, playing the game casually. The second room and the third room look identical, so you have to go through a couple of doors, and it feels like you're doing the same thing over and over again, but getting different results. But we're just gonna do this. Skip all that, because ghosts are only. You know, people will tell you that ghosts can go through anything, but if you're spinning, they're solid. That's how it works, right? And the next couple levels here in World 2, this is going to be where you're going to see some real gamer strats, if I get it right. Yeah, so there is a strat where you can go up onto the clouds there, but I believe it's a bit slower. Yeah, this is just plain old-fashioned platforming. Some of the these levels are some of the ones where no cape stuff really shines. And what is small only but better no cape. 262 on the game timer there, that's pretty good. So again, there were some platforms there which were moving to the right, and if you land on them, of course, they push you further to the right, and you can just save a few frames on those platforms. And there's a couple different strats you can do in this level as well. Not as big of a difference as in Donut Plains 1. But I'm going to be keeping the shell for a bit, so that I can use it on an amazing flying hammer bro coming up here, so I don't have to jump under him. Oh! Damn, I jumped slightly too early there. But no big deal, you just get to see it all again. So yeah, that midway is where I would have spawned. There we go. Do a bit of a left right there so that I can get under that guy. Barely made it, but I did. So we're all good. Moving on to Castle 2. Just forget the first one happened. Got it first try, right? Castle 2. So in cape categories, you'd usually see someone go up to the top there. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. That guy was a bit angry. Never mind. Yeah, cape categories, you'd usually skip the second room of this castle by going into a bonus game. But here, we actually get to show it off. It's a cool little room. And this part's essentially an auto-scroll. I've got to wait for these platforms to come back to me so that I can actually get on them. But we're going to keep the spring with us and use that instead to get up, so that hopefully I should be able to make a bit faster progress up at the top. There we go. And here's more. Bit of a different boss to the first one. Just stomp on him 3 times. In both cape categories and no cape categories, you would usually have a fire flower there, and you could do 2 fireballs and 1 stomp, and that would have killed him much quicker. But small only, we can't have that fire flower. Have to just stomp on him 3 times. Thank you, said Yoshi, even though he's Japanese. So there's Mario continuing his streak of blowing up monuments of times past. I wonder how many more of that we'll see. Well, hopefully that'll be the last one we actually see him blow up. The next one's implied, but it's at the end. So here I'm going to be using some more of that Buzzy Beetle shenanigans to get up to the secret exit. It's another one where you weren't intended to be able to get it small without these red blocks, but I caught the Buzzy as it was going down, so again, as it wakes up, it'll spawn below me and I can bounce off of him in midair. Get up to the secret exit early. And similarly to how we've been using some shell shenanigans to get extra jumps, we're going to do a similar thing here with a... Whoa. Never mind. With a spring. So it has a bit of a glitchy... Oh no. That wasn't good. That wasn't what we wanted at all. Fun fact, you can hold items on these vines. No! Spring, play nice. So this is a bit finicky. Come on! Are you kidding me? This is not the trick that usually messes me up. It can be a bit funny, but... There we go. Oh, whoa! Okay, there we go. Not optimal, but... And then when you finally get out of that pipe, that guy throws a rugby ball in your face. Just to be a massive... meanie. Okay, and entering Star World. So, you may ask why we're not going through the Star World 1, as you would in a normal 11 exit run, and that's because Star World 1 is full of these turn blocks, and to break through those you have to be Big Mario. So instead we had to take a slightly longer route, go through Vanilla Dome, and come in through Star World 2 instead. And you can just swim over the whole of this level. So we will. And holding an item underwater, even a baby dinosaur, makes you swim about twice as quickly as normal, because that's how physics work. And keys going keyhole, so I wanted to actually grab that. Now hopefully Lakitu isn't an idiot here. Okay, he was fine. So if he throws out a Spiny as the throw block is going into him, he has like no interaction, so it just goes straight through him and he doesn't die. And recently Steven found that that was a big problem in a marathon. And here is probably the biggest hurdle for people wanting to learn this category. Star World 4, we've got some good old-fashioned platforming here, and then at the end we've got probably the hardest trick in the run. So of course we're going to get it first try, right? So first of all I'm going to have to throw the shell down below to unlock a key, and I don't know because I didn't have the audio. But I'm going to assume that it unlocked. Oh, well. Yeah, that's what we didn't want to happen. But I have 5 lives, it's fine. That wasn't even the hard bit. Gonna build up a bit of speed here. Come on. There we go. So we threw the shell down to unlock the key. This time we're going to throw it down. It bounces off that block and I bounce off of it and get here. Easy. Okay, now we can come out of Star World and enter Bowser's Castle. So the doors that I'm going to be taking here, there's a bunch of different doors, and they all take you to a different room. So we're going to go through doors 2 and 5. I counted 2 big spikes coming out of the floor there, and then started running. And now we're going to enter Bowser. So the fight's a couple minutes long. Just got to throw a bunch of Mecha Koopas at it. There's 3 phases, and I'll call time. Well, I'll let you know when time's coming up. It's in a couple minutes, but I'll mention again. And then we're near the end. And there are a couple of things you can do to speed this fight up. So Bowser throws out 2 Mecha Koopas in his Mecha Koopa stage. So I'm going to throw out the one, and I'm going to wait for him to throw out a couple, some more. Damn, that went off the side of the stage. Oh well. I think I hit him too early in the first phase. He was a bit further left than usual, so ideally I would have a second Mecha Koopa here, and I could use it to do a ball skip in the second phase. Unfortunately I don't have that, so... Also, Peach is trying to invalidate our run. Don't want that. So yeah, he's going to drop 2 balls instead of just the one that I could have done if I had the skip, but it's no big deal. And then because of this, I also won't be able to do a bounce skip in the last phase, so a bit of a slow fight, but oh well. So he's going to drop 1 more ball. Hopefully that's the last of the bowling balls, we'll see. Oh no! Damn, so that's a bit too far off the side of the screen, and it fell off. Great. I couldn't grab that there. It's too far left. So 4 balls. Not the best number. Ideally, we'd have only had the 1, but never mind. It's all good. So now, because I hit him once, I should be able to do the bounce skip. Because I will have one going into the last phase, so I can show this off. So there's 2 hits on phase 3, and after the second hit, Peach will appear out of the clown car. Not what you're about to see where she throws a mushroom, but after the second hit in phase 3. So next hit, Peach will appear, and that's where time is. And I'll call it again. And time. So there we go. That was 15 exit, Small Mario only. There was Super Mario World. There was me. There's our friend Yoshi.
I present you with some beans for doing a good run.
I got beams! I won beams! Okay, time to switch over now, I guess. Thank you for having me.